Do y'all think God has like been on earth?
Elaborate.
You know how like they said
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The correct understanding and belief is that God has never been on earth because it is simply impossible for God to be on earth. Now you may be asking, how is this impossible? It is because, or it is impossible because God has no beginning. It goes against the very essence of God to be on earth. If God, so called, were to be on earth, that would mean that that one is not a God. Because it would mean that that so called God would have to have a beginning. But God has no beginning. He was always there in existence. There as in, he always existed, right? I guess there is just putting emphasis on him being in existence, right? Meaning that God always existed. God's creation has a beginning. The earth, one of God's creations, has a beginning. Therefore, since the earth has a beginning, that means that every single thing that is on earth is bound by that law, right? The law of having a beginning, of being confined in time, existing in a time, a certain time, right? For example, I existed in a certain time. I didn't exist before that time. Like 2,000 years ago, I didn't exist. A couple of years ago, I came into existence. I began. Everything that is on earth has a beginning. Everything that is created has a beginning. God, by his very essence, right? He's transcendent. The essence of God is his transcendence. He's meaning that he's unlike his creation. Right? That he my son. It's gonna make a big mess. Right? He has no beginning. God has no beginning. Therefore, God has never been on earth. Alhamdulillah. So this shows if the essence of God is that he's transcendent, he's unlike his creation. He does not have a beginning. He was always in existence. He existed pre-eternally. This shows that anyone who claims to be God, or anyone who claims that someone is God, and that someone began or had a beginning, is clearly not a God. So those who worship cows, they're clearly not gods. Those who worship man or men, clearly not God. They're clearly not gods. Those who worship angels, they're clearly not gods because they all have a beginning. They're creations of God. Those who worship idols that they themselves created, they know when it began because they don't want to made it. Or if you go to the store and you take an idol, maybe it has, I don't know, I never touched an idol. They probably have like a date, right? When it began, when it was made. Probably says made in China or something too. I don't know. Or made elsewhere, right? Clearly have a beginning. I mean, it made there, so it was made in that place. Okay, alhamdulillah. It's time to pray, alhamdulillah, to the one who has no beginning. Peace.